Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday. I am in a coffee shop, so I hope you all hear me okay. Let me know if you don't. Good morning. It's cold. I'm checking out the comments. Soul Collective is absolutely fine, Crystal, if you want to use that. Can you all hear me okay? Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hi, Sheena. Welcome. Hello, Wayne. Happy Sunday to you. All right, I'm going to do my intro and then we can get started. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. Here we go. All right. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on your location. Let me fix this. I'm doing it right. Here we go. My name is Jewel Pearson. This is Miss Bohemian Soul TV. This segment we are about to kick off is part of the Creating Home a Tiny House series. The segment is our community conversation. Every Sunday I am offering live content, alternating between our conversations, the what's your question, and then as we engage in conversation with a guest in and around the tiny house movement. I'm trying to do all the things so that we are able to share together and connect and answer tiny house questions and just help everyone move forward. As I introduce myself, I like to say that I built a kind of fancy tiny house in 2015. And since that time, I've shared my journey to hopefully inspire others who are interested in the movement. I do offer coaching and consultations to help others in their tiny house journey. And you will be able to find links to schedule with me in the video description once this goes live and I update it. And as I'm doing all of that, I serve up a lot of representation in the movement along the way. I want us to see ourselves here in this movement. It is my intent to build figurative and literal community that is inclusive and accessible. If you find this video and the information helpful, I hope you will like it, you'll share it, you'll subscribe to the channel, and then turn on the notifications so that you'll know when content is live and available. All right, let me fix this. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I'm going to get it at some point. Good morning, Teresa. Michelle. Good morning, that guy from Texas. Hi, Rosalind. Hi, Judith. Camping in Arizona. Okay, good. Hearing is good. Yeah, it is cold. Cold, cold, cold is the theme I think we're all experiencing. Okay, sorry you hear the background noise. I don't know. Let me see if I can try to fix my... Nope, it's on noise cancellation, so apparently it's just too noisy. My apologies. I hope you all hear me well enough for us to connect today. Oh no, if it's cold in Florida, we don't stand a chance. All right, Key. I see a voting is happening on the group name. I'm excited about this to see what you all come up with. This is kind of cool. I really appreciate it. Yes, it is. I'm okay with that. You all do what works for you and makes you happy. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, 28 degrees. It has been cold. Fortunately, my water has not frozen, so I'm excited about that. I'm out this morning supporting a friend and family that are gathering, and I left to come to the coffee shop so I could connect with you all. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everyone is doing well. I don't have a lot to connect with today. I will have a guest next Sunday. Hey, Robert, good, glad to have you here. I will have a guest next Sunday, Josh Gordy from Worthen RV Park. We connected last week as I was in the Atlanta area supporting my family. I was able to um, get a chance to, as my drive back home, connect with Josh. And Josh is interested in a tiny house community, so developing that on his property, his beautiful property. So more to come on that. He will be a guest next Sunday, and we can get to a chance to virtually visit his property and then talk about his plans. And I'm excited about it for him as well. I don't really have anything. I did want to get a chance to connect with you all to see what you all had going on. Um, Last week, I spent time with family in Atlanta, attending funerals. Um, really, really sad situation, but an opportunity to connect with family. We just have to start doing better in not just connecting for funerals and the like connecting so that we're able to see each other during happy times as well. And that's something that I hope we'll be able to do a lot more of. Um, I think my other things I've been working on this week is still with my um, health and leave. I'm feeling good, navigating my leave. Um, One of the things that really has happened as I was navigating some things this week, one of the things that just really stood out for me is how important it is for us to advocate for ourselves, and then to advocate for others who aren't in a position to advocate for themselves. Um, just dealing with medical professionals, I feel like sometimes you really have to determine if they're working for you or if they're working for a system or if they're working for um, the medical industry, if they're working for the pharmaceutical industry, like just understanding where their allegiances lie and ensuring that if they're not focused on you as the person, that you're advocating for yourself or putting yourself in the position so that you have people, even if that means changing doctors, that you have people that are advocating for you, because that's the priority. That's what they are supposed to be there for. And so just the awareness of that and asking questions, because oftentimes it is that they're focused on some other things. And so that has been kind of a recurring theme for me this week, for myself personally, and then supporting a family member in recognizing that there are a lot of hoops and things that you have to push through sometimes, and not everybody has the capacity to advocate for themselves. And there are so many, sometimes there's so many hoops to push through that someone who's not in the position to advocate for themselves, would give up. And so it is so important to have support systems and resources to help navigate during times of challenge and when you need support. Um, Sharon is saying, I work in the healthcare industry, medical education, on top of what you mentioned, doctors have biases too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it is so important to make sure that you are the priority in the work that they're focused on. Um, it's a lot. Um, Teresa is saying it's really good that you and your family exploring getting together as a family. We had 2 family reunions before my mom passed. And I know that time that you had together with her was really good. And that's how the memories are created and pictures that you can look back on. So I'm glad you did have that time. Very sorry for your loss. Um, Crystal, I'd love to see them on your app as landowners with space for a tiny house or two. Tiny house on wheels or two. Absolutely. He and I are in conversation. Sorry, I took taken a bite of a bagel before I got on. So he and I are in conversation about his tiny house community. So he will absolutely be part of that and have space for quite a bit of tiny houses on wheels. And so I'm excited about that opportunity. Crystal, I did a collab with a preacher from Off British for my January Mental Health Wellness Monday. I can't wait for what's coming up on their land. Oh, that's beautiful. I'll have to check that out. If you have a link you want to drop, Crystal, please feel free to do that here so that others can check that out and support it and know how to support that. I did see a post, an IG post that you all had collaborated in. Robin, I think it's Greenfield. Rob Greenfield, I think is his name, have visited as well. Hey, KC. So Josh is located in Worthing, WART, Worthing. Let me see, because I don't want to tell a lie. How does how to Worthing? Yeah, Worthing, Georgia. It's Worthing RV Park, in Worthing, Georgia. It was about an hour and a half from Atlanta. An hour and a half from Atlanta. It's like really, the location is really, I think it was Augusta was the biggest, closest city. It's a really nice location, in um, reference to some of the larger cities. So that's one of the big bonuses for his location. Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry. I hope you're not working next week. I hope that you'll be here and be able to be here live. I think our conversation with Josh will be really good. Let's see. It is very important. Yep. And that's one of the things that I recognized, in my as I'm still doing follow-ups and all of those things as I'm navigating what my lead looks like when my return, um, what the return looks like and what my capabilities are, and making sure the person that's working with me on that paperwork is actually working for the best of my better good. And that piece came very clear last week. Yep, yep. Um, Rosalind is saying it's 2 hours away. I think it was like an hour and a half. It wasn't bad. The challenge though is that in order to have an RV park, you need some rural land, unfortunately, and so that's why they're not always closer to major cities. But his is really centrally um, located. Like I said, I think it is Atlanta and Augusta. I could totally be wrong, but we'll talk about that next week. I thought it was a nice location. Hi, Latasha. Kitty. Hi, Cynthia. Teresa is saying I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with my doctor. I went to get a flu shot twice, and they gave me a different shot both times. I went, oh my God. Oh no, that's not good. Um, that sounds like somebody wasn't doing their job well and not paying attention. Okay, so Crystal said it's not up yet. Mental Wellness Mondays are the last Monday of each month, so January 29th. Okay, so remind us next Sunday so that we can all tune in and support. Thank you. Hey, Day, good to see you. Okay, y'all are supposed to be voting. Crystal needs some votes. Crystal is asking for the group name vote. This is so cute. I'm so excited about that. Um, what else is going on? This cold spell is a lot. It is the reminder of, especially for people who live in tiny houses to um, ensure that you're doing the things to keep warm and stay safe. I follow a tiny house, Cabin Life Alaska. They're a cabin, not necessarily a tiny house, and they had an issue with their propane, and I think they thought it was the tank, and it was something else, and unfortunately, their cabin burned to the ground, which is horrible. They've got a lot of support, community support. They lost animals. They did not lose their lives, but they lost their home and lost some animals. So, and this safety is for, traditional houses as well, especially when dealing with like space heaters and propane and kerosene, those things. You have to be really, really careful, and have to be careful as far as fire hazards as well as proper ventilation. So, just a reminder for all of that, if that's something that you are using. Yeah. Rosalind is saying you have to have at least 10 acres of land in Georgia to have an RV park. And to come across 10 acres of land in an urban area is a big challenge, which is, again, why RV parks are kind of outside and in rural spaces. Um, so we'll talk to Josh and um, have some opportunity to get some more details and clarification. And again, his property is beautiful, so it'll be an exciting conversation. And then when he moves forward with his plans, I'm very excited for him. Yes, winterization is important, and yeah, it's Cabin Life Alaska. I've followed them for many years. Their pictures are always beautiful. Watching the lights there in Alaska, the beautiful sky, and just learning more about Alaska from their perspective. Okay, so Crystal is saying she can't share a clickable link because she's not a moderator. I should be fixing that. I got to figure out how to do that. But if you want to drop the link, I can copy. I should be able to copy and paste it and share it. And yes, Teresa, those cautions and precautions are important for any type of house. Yeah. Hi, Elle. Good afternoon. Happy to have you here. Um, Thank you, Kitty. I appreciate that. I am sitting in a coffee shop. It's called Out Supporting a Friend, and wanted to still be able to connect with you all in community. So I shot over to the coffee shop to spend some time with you all. Yeah, Teresa is saying that's why we always had gas stoves in our houses so we could keep the house warm, or a fireplace. Yeah, for a tiny house, the challenge. So there are a lot of people who have fireplaces and things like that. The challenge with those are like if you're away from home and can't keep an eye on the fire as it's going, you always need to have like a backup option. So when you return home, you're not really always starting from zero, to get the house warm, and that also is helpful. Having an option is helpful, like to keep the house warm so your pipes aren't freezing and that type of stuff. It's like a whole process. Right now, I've had my water dripping for the last, I guess, about week because it is so cold. I need to try to keep um, the water flowing, but the one thing I do know, the property where I am is large, and the distance for me from the actual well is such that even if I have my water running, if it gets cold enough that and the water freezes, it's not going to matter. It is just going to shut down. So fingers crossed that it doesn't freeze, but then I always am prepared with some backup water. I'm good as long as the power doesn't go out because I have some backup water and I can heat the water and bathe and have drinking water. So it is one of the challenges for um, tiny house living, but it's low on the list of a move or something that would deter me from tiny house living. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I appreciate that. Teresa's asking, what about in-floor heating? So personally, I only know one person who did the radiant floor heating in her tiny house, and as I understood it from her, she didn't really see value in the radiant floor heating during the winter. She saw more value of it during the summer. It it would keep the house cool, but it didn't really add that much value in the winter. I don't know what kind of heating she had. I don't know if, and she built her home. This is Macy Miller, and I've interviewed her here, and she built her home many years ago. So the options may have improved, or there may be a different option that works better than what she installed. So I'm not deterring anyone from it, but that's the only point of reference that I have for someone who did that. But it would absolutely be a smart idea if it worked well to have floor heating, because with the tiny house on wheels not being on foundation, the floor is generally always cold. So heat and rugs and in floor heating would be a bonus if it worked correctly. Michelle, I did see that it's supposed to warm back up later in the week. I think I saw temperatures like 70 degrees, 70, maybe even higher than that. And I'm like, this is craziness. Um, Robert says he's trying to behave. Um, Rosin said, I went back to my early bus life days with 5-gallon water bottles and USB pumps. Absolutely. You got to have a backup plan. So I understand. I do. That's exactly what I have, 5-gallon water available. I have even a couple of backups in my shed, depending on how long water is frozen and all of those things. So I'm not out having to search for water. Um, Wayne is saying small diesel heaters work great for RVs and tiny homes. They are safe to use on 24 hours a day and sip fuel. Also, buddy propane heaters with a stove fan sitting on top of it work great. Very safe. Okay, thank you for that tip. I'm not familiar with diesel heaters at all. Do they have a smell to them? I know I'm not a fan of diesel autos, so but I'm not sure if that's the same type of connection. But thank you for sharing that. Oh, Pat is saying there's a lot of background noise. That's me. It's me. I'm sitting in a coffee shop. I'm the only one with background noise. Sorry. I'm sitting in a coffee shop. Maybe I won't stay on long. I thought my AirPods would kind of do some noise cancellation, but clearly that's not working too well. So my apologies. I am the noise today. Um, so sorry, Pat. I hope you can hear me. And I won't stay on very long. Oh, I like Bohemian Soul Collective. I like that. Hey, Chris. Okay, Crystal is saying the whole family is watching. Hey, family. The cat, husband. Appreciate y'all. Yes, I am the background noise. Oh, thank you, Pat. Um, I think you must be speaking to my hair. Yes, I'm growing some hair. We'll see how this lasts. At least it's keeping my head warm. Usually my head is cold because in the winter, because I'm always cold anyway. So this is keeping my head warm. Okay, cool. I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, so Crystal is saying the tank can go outside. All right, the ventilation is always a big part of making of safety. So that's a good thing. All right, what else? What do y'all have going on? Thank you, Kitty. Um, what else do we have going on? I um I am 29. Today is 29 days post my mini stroke, and I just I'm in gratitude every day. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to hit the likes. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear me loud and clear. Rosin is saying she's not a fan of diesel. It does have a smell. Propane heaters are serving me well. I'm using dehumidifiers to control the moisture. Very good. Um, that's good to know. Um, Teresa is asking, do you have propane tanks outside your home? I'm thinking you're maybe talking to Rosalind. I don't have propane. I don't have any thing that is powered by propane. My home is fully electric. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Pat says, I've been thinking about building a tiny house. Do it. Let's do it. Pat, that's what we're here for. Um, thank you, Michelle. Crystal is saying Chinese diesel heaters are about $75 to $130. Um, yeah, I'm diesel fuel. I'm very sensitive to smells, and kerosene has always been kind of a challenge for me, and I imagine that kerosene would be as well. Um, like even natural gas, which shouldn't really have a smell, but I mean, when you smell it, I think that means there's something wrong. But natural gas, all of those things, those smells will give me a headache have to, if I smell them and it's for an extended period of time. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you. I don't feel like what I've been through, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Elle. I appreciate that. You all have me blushing. Um, Robert asked, did I entertain the idea of becoming a model? And so my beauty and intelligence got in essence with my tiny house. I guess I need to work on that one, Robert. Thank you. Thank you. Um, okay. Rosin says, I have a 3-quart propane tea and a long hose to keep the dual tanks outside. Okay. Rosin, I also think cold air does something to propane. I'm thinking that, but I could be wrong. Is that the case? Um, I think I know that from people who had propane, not mini splits, propane tankless water heaters, that it seemed like something happens with the tanks and the cold weather. Thank you, Tweety Bird. I appreciate that. Any updates on the website? So we are so close. I am meeting this week to connect the domain and work with another person on the SEO stuff, and so I am on point for February for the release. So it will. It's coming soon. Coming soon. Okay, so Rosalind is saying she uses propane for her stove, water heater, and her heat. Okay. Yeah, propane is easy, like easy access to refill the tanks and all those things. I just have never done them. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Okay, so Wayne is saying he has 3 of the diesel heaters, uses them all the time. There is no smell because the vent pipe is placed outside. It had no smell at all, nor is there any threat of CO2, carbon dioxide. Very cool. Thank you for um, sharing that information and enlightening us. Um, thank y'all. Okay, so Crystal was saying when she had them in her van, she kept her windows cracked just as a safety caution. And a carbon dioxide detector is absolutely just smart to have. Linda is saying, I would feel extremely safe with electric heaters, but there are those who are totally off grid. So my selection then would be propane in that case. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so Crystal is asking y'all to vote. So um, the vote is 1 for jewelers, 2 for jewels gems, and 3 is Soul Collective. And she's asking that you vote only once, please. Okay, so that's what I thought. The cold air uses a lot more propane. I just realized it, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to insulate my tanks. Bubble wrap often works in those types of situations. Bubble wrap in tarps and foam board insulation to build a box around it. I had to build a box around my um, y'all know I forget my words. The well, where my well is in the barn that's beside me. It's exposed, and so I built kind of a box around it using foam board and wrap and tarps to kind of keep them warm. So hopefully that will help you. Okay, so Rosalind is still giving us information. BJ's refills the propane tanks for $12 instead of swapping them out for 20 to 25. Okay, very cool. Okay, Wayne is saying you can run a propane tank indoors with a buddy heater. It's safe to do so with a buddy heater, which has a built-in carbon dioxide detector and shut-off device if it falls over you. And he's using them now inside. Okay, thank you for that information. All right. Okay, build a box, Rosalind. That sounds good. A water heater blanket. Okay. All right. That's the sharing that happens here. Thank you for all of the information, Wayne and Rosalind, to help us and those who are interested in using propane and diesel heaters so that we're better aware. Um, what else? Okay, so y'all are still voting. I will once the site goes live, and that is the cooperative community site that I shared last week. Once that site goes live, I will devote a session to walking through that site and sharing it here. And then this week, I'm also working on the offering for Patreon. If you're not on Patreon, I want to encourage you to join us there. Patreon will give us an opportunity to have some more, a little more in-depth connection. Some of the things that I wouldn't necessarily want to share out here to the masses and for the world, we'll be able to share more connectedly within Patreon. So I'm going to drop some links if you want to join on Patreon. I'm dropping that link. And then you all know I'm doing my merchandise, so I'm sharing that link as well. Thank you, Michelle. I hope to see you over there. I'm working on that offering so that I'll have that out soon. And then I'm just going to drop the rest of the links. A reminder, if you're not on my mailing list, do that, please. And then just a reminder, too, that we have the Tiny House Festival coming up in April 13th and 14th. So if you are able to join us, then please do. It's going to be very exciting. I am responsible for the speakers, and we've got a really strong speaker lined up. A lot of speaker content lined up, and so I'm excited about that because it's a lot of strong content and speakers. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so I gotta fix my Patreon link. Hold on. Thank you, thank you, Crystal. Let's see if this is better. Thank you, Crystal. The Tiny House Festival that I'm speaking about is it's the Carolina Tiny House Festival. It is in Concord, North Carolina, which is right outside of Charlotte. Here's the link for that. That event is April 13th and 14th. Let me make sure I'm saying. Yes, April 13th and 14th. Saturday and Sunday. Um, this is going to, thank you. Um, this is going to be one of the things that I have tried to push for such a long time within the tiny house movement is inclusion in content, inclusion in speakers for the festivals, and um, I'm in charge of the speakers, so you all already know um, that that's what will be happening at this event. The group rolling this out is Black woman owned, and so I'm just excited about all the things. For me, this is an opportunity because I do still plan to host a tiny house festival type event in the DC area in 2025. So this is an opportunity to kind of work toward that. I still am working on some meetups, so there will be some meetups, a meetup in Atlanta in April, and also a meetup in DC this year. So I'll have some dates for that very soon, and I'll share that information and look forward to being able to connect with you all um, at some opportunity along the way, at a meetup at the festival, in Patreon, all of those things as we're working on creating community. Um, all right, let me see if I had anything else on my list. I don't have anything else on the list to to share with you all today. Yes, Crystal DC. I'm looking forward to the opportunities in DC. The facility, Eaton Hotel, I shared with you all previously. I'd shared with that. It is a Eaton Hotel. It's the one in DC is focused um, on social justice issues and representation and all of those things. So I'm excited to be able to have an event at a facility that's already focused in that area. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate y'all so much. Um, that's all I have for today. Next Sunday, we will be in conversation with Josh. I'll have some updates on the site, some more details on the site, and some more updates, some details on what we're going to be doing on Patreon. So, no, Crystal, I thank you all for that because most of the time I feel like right now I'm trying to figure out all the things, so I'm not as organized as I would like to be. So I appreciate that you all show up to support, even when I feel like I don't have a clear path and a clear plan. But you all still show up to support, and I appreciate that so much. Um, it is it's how I can continue to grow and understand what it is that um, my offering for you all. And so I appreciate the support, and I appreciate everybody's feedback and the sense of community. So thank you, Michelle. Um, thank you for the conversation today, Wayne and Rosalind, to help us understand propane as we all are navigating winter. Oh, Crystal, you visited his park in 2020. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that conversation. I got a chance to meet his mom, um, and visit the property. And it was a really nice. It was a beautiful day, so I enjoyed it. Sharon, thank you, Sharon. Sharon said, even when I'm not organized, I'm organized. I know what she means. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're doing here, trying to make sure that we are supporting our community and businesses. And that's important because we have to support ourselves. And that's really important. And that's what I want to do as well, so that we can also prosper because that is important. All right, folks, I am going to cut it short today, or shorter than normal. I thank you all so much for joining. I will be back Sunday. Key, Key, thank you. That's beautiful. Key says, I don't care if you come on and talk about the process of watching paint dry. The vibe, inspiration, and flavor on your channel is immeasurable. Thank you, Key. I appreciate that so much. Um, Thank you. That's hilarious. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, good people. I am going to do my close out, and then I will be back to connect with you all next week. I thank you all so much. I hope everybody has a good weekend. You all stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, do all of the things. And I appreciate you all. Thank you, Latasha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great Sunday, everybody, and we will talk again next week. Oh, okay. So there's a name, the Soul Collective. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Have a good Sunday.